Here is a second tutorial from a move taught by Bitehandle. This one is not actually any rollovers or twirls or aerials or anything. This one is entirely different, and it's designed to be used with a locked open knife. And that's why that's how Bitehandle taught it, and that was how he intended you know, in a new and interesting way to manipulate Balisong. You know, and he's got, you know, quite the routine of work with the ballet with just, you know, locked open. And so it's really interesting. So this one, I'm going to teach it, but I've also got a little bit of a modification to it, which sort of defeats the purpose of his original intent, but that's okay, I think. What it is it looks like this. Okay, here, let me looks like this. Basically, it's that motion. I don't know why I'm sticking. Not doing well. That's how he actually teaches it, is it's to be performed horizontally, which I don't like that at all. I mean, like, I learned it, but then I started doing it vertically like this. It just was so much easier for me to do it faster. So that's the idea, you know. You're maybe you can see it better from an angle. I mean, yeah, from the side instead of straight on, because back of my hand is in the way. So it's kind of an interesting little manipulation of twirling it around. And how you do that is, it's not too difficult, it's not anything crazy. You're just pinching it, you're performing like a pivot with the entire open knife. You're performing a pivot downwards. So you're starting up here, you pivot downwards, and then you put your middle finger in front of it. Kind of, you know, like many transitions involve putting your middle finger in front of it. So you're spinning it down, and you put your middle finger in front of it, and you keep that motion, and roll your fingers. You roll it between your fingers just like that. So you're pivoting it down, and then you kind of keep that motion and roll your fingers, and then swing your hand forward to pivot it down again, or pivot it forwards, depending on how you're performing it. And so you keep doing that. You transition to your ring finger, okay? You pull off your index finger, you roll it between your fingers, and then you let it slide. So it's right there, something was happening. I was too far down on the handle. If you get too far down the handle, it blocks it from pivoting because it gets stuck on your finger. You have to perform all of them right on the end here, which can make it tricky to hold on to. So you do that again, and you can do it with your pinky. You pinch, bring it up, let it rotate around, and then I believe what he actually does, you can do it technically just like that. What he actually does is he, or maybe I do it, I'm not sure. I can't remember if he does it in his video or if it was something I did to make it easier. You can kind of supplement it, your transitions, with your thumb as you go down your fingers, okay? So you're like this, it's swinging down, you catch it there, and then you help it with your thumb, and you let off with your index finger. So you're not transitioning from your index finger to your ring finger. You're transitioning from, you know, you're going middle finger, and then your index finger is on, but then you replace it with your thumb, and then you twist it. You let it spin between just your middle finger and your thumb. And then you make that transition again, and then you let it spin between your ring finger and your thumb. And then you do it again, and then you let it spin between your pinky finger and your thumb. So that's an easy way to make it a little bit make it pivot sooner, or I mean not sooner, smoother. Make it pivot smoother as you make that rotation. As I said, it's so much easier to me. It makes so much more sense, and it feels so much more, yeah, see, there you go. To do it vertically like that, and it makes this really cool, you know, like circle look. And then, so I mean, that's pretty much the tank right there. And you know, he has things where you perform actual closed, or I mean, locked open rollovers and aerials and things like that. But what I like doing is opening it. And so what you can do is you can perform this exact same move open. And what you do is I like to start spine up, okay? So with bite handle hanging down, just like that, pivot it down, just like a normal pivot, but pivot it into your middle finger. Ah, dang it. Slipped out of my fingers. When you're learning this and trying to do it fast, that's going to happen a lot because it's very awkward to like be like what I did just there. Ah, and I did it again, going backwards. You know, what I did just there, that transition. So what you're doing is you are pivoting it, making that swinging around motion, rolling it between your fingers, moving my index finger in front of my over my middle finger, then pinching it between my thumb again, transitioning it to my ring finger, and then going there. I don't do the pinky with one handle because it's too hard to hold on to when it's open. And so the reason I do it spine up is so that from right here, you know, I'm pinching it between my ring finger and my thumb. Right here, I can go into, that was definitely off camera, but you can do a aerial from reverse grip. The ones that I really like doing, I'm like, hey, I can actually go right into it. So that makes it end up looking, aside from me hitting my tripod and catching it strangely, that's what it looks like. So, if you want to, that's not good. If you want to, man, this is like the most I've ever dropped a knife. Whatever. If you'd like to go into an aerial. Also, another way, because it's, you know, I wanted to figure out a way to make it more integratable into standard flipping. Another way for you to do it. Oh, by the way, if you're going down and doing that roll around between your middle finger and your ring finger is just too difficult, you don't have to do it, and you can still do an aerial. What you have to do is start with the handle up, the bite handle up instead of the spine. Instead of like this, you start with that, and the way it's oriented, you just perform one of those. You just pivot it down, twist it, do one twist, pivot it down again, and there, you're ready to go into the reverse grip aerial. Another thing you can do to integrate it into flipping is you're swinging it around. You can do you swing it down and there. And so that might not look like anything, but what you can actually do is perform a very awkward and not usual rollover around your thumb. You have to you swing it down and then you have to bring it around. It's down, and then you have to kind of keep that momentum a little like that, see? So you usually end up pretty high up on the handle. It's a lot less stable of a rollover than you know, the standard putting your thumb right there. You kind of have to, like, it's almost like tossing it. You have to toss it and then let it catch on your thumb. But with enough experimentation, you should be able to figure it out. And if you get really good at it, you can go into, you know, things like cherry pickers or, you know, other rollover combos from a rollover like that. So, there you go. My version, here, I'll do it this way. My version, let's actually do the aerial right. My version of the tank. There we go.